Hey guys, it's another day with me, Jessie Lee. If you guys haven't seen me yet before, hi, welcome. My name is obviously Jessie Lee, and I am a women's encouragement coach. I'm gonna put these up so I don't have the silly ring in my glasses. So if you guys are hopping on, come say hello. I'd love to see you guys. Hi, Faye, thanks for jumping on. And if you guys are catching the replay, so I needed to come on. It's been such a long time, I felt like, since I came live, and it's because I have been feeling like a damn pawn. A pawn in life, like I have no choices, and things like that. And I was questioning everything, like who hasn't done that, right? So I'll throw out a little invite to a few lovely friends. So, how are you guys feeling? How has Christmas and the holidays treated you? How are you feeling today? Have you guys ever felt like pawns? Like, just pawns. And I mean, like, not just with life. Like, I felt like a pawn with the people pleasing and, especially with the holidays, it felt pretty crazy, actually. Like, I wasn't feeling quite like myself. And I'll let you guys in on a little secret of how I did it and how I got through. And it was a very strange and different scenario than I've ever done before. So that really messed with me a little bit. But I think it really did work in the end. And so I'm just going to let you guys know what it is. Hi, Monica. So, like lately, what I had been doing is when I feel maybe like people are either walking all over me, people pleasing, all of those things, is I fight it. I fight it, I fight it, and I fight it. And usually it pisses people off. Usually it ends up making me feel worse. And so I ended up doing something totally different this time. I used my power to shut up. I used my power of my voice by not using my voice. And it was a very interesting kind of change of dynamics than I was used to, because I'm quite a vocal person, and I'm one of those people where back in the day I would be very vocal, but I would never be vocal with my very specific intentions or my needs. And so I'd be yipping and yapping, doing the chatty Cathy thing over here, but none of it really meant anything. It was all just blind words, right? And then when I started learning more about how I wanted to show up in my life, I started doing more things like, being more vocal with my very specific intentions. And that was fucking hard, because I started to piss off a lot of people because it was different than what I was used to. Nobody really knew what I was doing. And then honestly, a lot of the times I didn't get what I wanted anyway. Well, what the fuck? I'm being specific with my intentions and what my needs. Hi, for coming on. So why was it that I was actually saying what I needed, and yet people were still I wasn't getting what I needed. I wasn't getting what I needed. And the reason was, it was just like, almost like an epiphany just now. I mean, I've been going through these processes. I mean, it's not new. I mean, I've been coaching and I've been with people for a while. So what was the fucking problem? Why was it that I ended up in this spot where if it wasn't in my control, I was getting pissed off? I'm not sure what it was, but I was off balance. I was off balance, and I kept thinking that I had so much control over things that I don't have control over. And this is my faith that came in, and my belief system that I knew I needed to be actually walking the walk, talking the talk, not just walking around and talking shit. I had to actually do what I was believing. Hi, Aaliyah. So what I ended up doing was I took some freaking time. I shut up about some stuff and I just took it in. I took in everything. I brought it all in. I processed it all. I kind of shut everybody else out. Not always the best. I wouldn't suggest that all the time, but I was able to do it for me at that point. It was just what I needed at that time. And I'm so freaking happy that I did it. I zipped my lip for a little bit. I let time do its thing. And I actually worked with my belief system. So I wasn't sitting there getting pissed off at people because they weren't doing what I wanted them to do. I wasn't getting pissed off because life is not in my control. Life is never in our control, but how we react to it is. And that's where I was feeling like a pawn. Like, especially because at the beginning of December, I find, like since September since September, I've been really rebranding. I've been really ready to relaunch my 2020 coaching into these big, crazy, incredible courses that I was so freaking excited for. And then the beginning of December, I found out my 2020 is going to look very different than what I was expecting. My kid is needing surgery most likely, and therefore obviously becomes a priority. And that freaking hit me like a freaking sack of bricks. Like a sack of bricks. And then it started like snowballing because I wasn't really allowing myself to process it. Hi, Amanda. I wasn't processing it. I was doing what I did way back in the freaking day where I just, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, no big deal. It is what it is. Life is what it is. I have no fucking pawn. I became a pawn in life, in my beliefs, and I wasn't really living them. I just became a pawn. And therefore, then people started walking all over me again. And then people started doing this, and I became a people pleaser, and I did all of these things. And instead of taking my power, not necessarily control, but the power I have in doing what's right for me and the way that I believe, right? It's about our belief system. And the way is that we aren't pawns, that we have this sort of possible destiny that we may have, but we are the ones that get to choose how we want to react to things. We are the ones that get to choose what we want to do with the things that are put in front of us. I believe that we all have good in us. I believe we all have shit in us. I believe that life is put in front of us to see what we're going to do with it. And that means shit sandwiches. That means good times. That means bad. That means everything. Because it's to be a balancing act. We can't control everything. We can't pretend like we are the almighty powerful everything in this universe, because we're fucking not. We're human beings. We have a certain sense of amount of control over things, and the rest we need to work with it the way that it's been given and dealt to us. And that's where our power comes from, is choosing to show up. And so, hi Amanda. So the task at hand was, I was in all of the Christmas craziness and trying to focus on that specifically, especially in December, right? Like, we've all been trying to handle all this Christmas stuff and the stresses and, doing this and all the expectations and all of that. Well, I got my kids into their basement, and that felt amazing. I worked my ass off to get them there. And then I crashed. But there was a good reason for that crash. It had to happen because I felt like this pawn in this scheme of life, and I was just down as shit on myself. And I couldn't believe it. And then things weren't going my way for the holidays. I had people not showing up that were important to me. I had people that were sick. I mean, it was just left, right, and center. And I knew that the reason for that up as angry, I couldn't get overwhelmed over that stuff, because it was the world showing me that you're right. I don't have control on this right now. I don't have control over this. What is going on is I have to control the way I show up in these situations. So I zipped my lip. I wasn't doing the chatty Cathy thing like I usually did, where I was either, talking smack or I was getting angry at people. I let it all in. I let it all in and realized that this is who I am. The reason I am here is to take this all in, process it, and then let it go. And then let it go. Take what I need and let the rest go. And that helped so much. Instead of flying off the handles, instead of getting angry and upset, which don't get me wrong, I mean, there were times where I was really freaking angry. But I didn't let myself go off the handles. And I think that that was a really important lesson, especially with things like people pleasing and things like that, because I mean, that was old habits, right? We all know old habits die hard, and that was an old pattern for me of becoming a people pleaser, and I really didn't want to fall back into it. So I almost lit a torch just to burn that part of me of not being a people pleaser. And I realized that's not fair. That's just not fair. Those are parts of who we are. And we can't just completely get rid of parts of us, guys. Even if you don't like everything that you see, you can't just get rid of it. It's there for a reason. It is there. There has to be a balancing act. You cannot be all evil. You cannot be all angel. It just doesn't work that way. We're human beings. We are walking, talking contradictions on the earth. That's what we are. We do good. We do bad. We do stupid. We do smart. It's what we are. And to pretend or to deny a part of yourself because you don't like it is not right either. You don't have to like every single part of you. I mean, we aren't Susie Sunshine. We can't just pretend it into existence. We can't. There's parts of you that are there for a reason. You don't have to like every single part of you. But guess what? When there are times, when there are parts of you, hey Johnny, when there are parts of you that you don't like, guess what? They're there for a reason. They're there for you to know what you don't want to show up as. It's there for a reason. I don't want to be a controller. I don't want to be a people pleaser. But guess what? It has to be there. I have to go through it so that I understand what I don't want to be like. So that I can take these moments where I felt like a pawn and I can just go through the process and get to the other side. So that I know that, no, I have choices. I will always have choices. You will always have choices. It just might be the choices you thought you had. And a lot of hope and a lot of endearment to the fact that we still have so much to learn, and that means that we have a purpose. That means that we still have a reason to keep kicking forward to the next day, even if that day really sucked. There's still tomorrow. There's still the next day, you know? And I think that that's a great way for us to feel as though we have the opportunity to grow, become better, even though there are parts of us that we just don't like. But we can forgive those parts. We can learn from those parts. We can learn from mistakes. We can learn from things that we just don't like, and we can become better for next time. And I think that that is like the epitome of having hope. Like, to me, that is just the best feeling in the world. So I went through this really shitty feeling of feeling like this pawn in December, which I really did. And now I feel better about it than I did before. What are the chances of that? Chances are really fucking high. The chances are high because it's the process. And you have to go through it. The balancing act of life. So I needed to come on. I needed to share that with you guys because I know out there, because I was one of them who feels like they don't have anybody to talk to. They feel like the process they're going through makes them crazy. It makes them either too controlling or they feel like they're being walked over. They feel like a pawn. And I don't want you to ever feel like you don't have a choice, because I felt like that for so long, that I didn't have any choices. And it is really sad to feel that way. And nobody needs to feel that way, guys. We're all going through the same process. I mean, we all go through it in our own unique little ways, but we are all still going through this journey. And I don't want anybody to feel as though they don't have this hope that it will get better, that you have an opportunity to grow, to become a better version of yourself. Everybody has that opportunity, has that choice to make. And if you are choosing to not make that, that is still your choice. If you are stuck in a position and you can't get the fuck out of it, you're either choosing to stay there or you're choosing to move out of it. And nobody likes to hear that, but it's true. And I am I had been there for a long time. Hey, Amanda. So make some choices. 2020 is literally, tomorrow is New Year's Eve. I can't even believe that. That felt so strange to me, because I've had moments in my years where I have felt like they have been in the slow mode like crazy. And this year, it wasn't easy. It wasn't fucking easy. But it went by with so much passion that it was a really great year. 2019 is going to be a year that I will remember for a very long time. I've learned so much this year. And 2020 is coming up, and it deserves so much positivity. And I'm not saying that you need to do the New Year's resolutions, or you have to do it in a timeline of 1 year at a time, or, 2019's over now, kick your start 2020. You do it at your time. And if you choose to use New Year's as your date, cool. Use New Year's as your date. And if you really need that extra support, find somebody for that support. Don't just make random shit up in your head and never get it out of there. That is the easiest way for it to fail, is to leave it inside your head for you to tear it apart. So if you guys are ready for 2020, if you guys are ready to do some changes, that's fantastic. Use this time, but get it out of your head. Find somebody that is going to encourage you, to push you, to do whatever it is that you need them to do, and get that shit actually moving, because you deserve it. You deserve a year like I just had, where it was so much learning, so much change, and so much greatness, and to be able to make yourself better. Hi, Erd. All right, so that was pretty much my gist for. You guys got this opportunity, this really amazing opportunity, where you don't have to feel like this pawn anymore. I don't need to feel like this pawn anymore. But go through the processes, find that balance, and remember, you have choices no matter what. No matter what is going on, you always have a choice on how you react to situations. No matter what kind of shit sandwich is thrown at you at that time, you have the ability to make some choices on how you want to react to them. And that is really exciting. That is so much hope. So take care of yourself. I love you all. Thank you very much for watching. If you caught the replay, I didn't even say #replay. Maybe I did. I don't even remember at this point. So have a great week, guys. I mean, have a wonderful New Year's. And let's kick off with a great bang if that's what you're ready for. Talk to you later.